Hey guys, it's Mike with another MLS updater. Last night we had one game in MLS between New York City FC and FC Cincinnati, which ended in a 1-1 draw. Before we get to that, let's congratulate Orlando City FC for their victory in the Open Cup last night against Sacramento Republic. A 3-0 win, 2 goals from Facundo Torres before Benji Michel capped off the game and put it to bed. They go into the CCL next season, along with the Vancouver Whitecaps, and they will still be continuing to search for playoff success as well. So, moving across to our game in MLS last night, New York City FC won, FC Cincinnati won, and the game looked destined to be a draw. Neither side have been particularly in great veins of form when it comes to bringing home 3 points. Cincinnati now have 10 draws in their last 13 games. But that is only one loss in 16. So as much as they're not getting the 3 points, they're not being beaten. They're being a very difficult side to beat. And New York City themselves, only one win in their last 9. And things are looking very difficult at the moment for Nick Cushing to get this side back to where Ronny Delia left it, who were very much in the Supporters' Shield conversation prior to his departure to Belgium. When the game got underway, things started to look a bit more like the old New York City FC. They were putting FC Cincinnati under a lot of pressure, and one goalkeeper in particular was given a very difficult day's work.
Dominic Baggi winning it over Tyler Snyder. And that goal the header, and what a save by Celentano.
So one of these goalkeepers much busier than the other last night, and Roman Celentano was put under a lot of pressure from a New York City FC side who looked to be back to their best. They created 17 shooting opportunities, 8 of which were on target, and Celentano did so well to ensure that he kept all but one of those out. It's shown another sign of Pat Noonan making this side a much more difficult team to beat, a much more difficult side to break down, to get clear-cut chances of. And adding players like Matt Miazga has really helped this defence. They need to get something going forward. Missing Acosta and Brenner in the first half, Don Baggi was given the start alongside Vasquez in that first half. Brenner did come on. With just the one shot off target in the first half, they managed to have 4 in the end with 1 on target in the second half. But they were very much outplayed. 34% possession is all they could manage throughout the game. So without those front 3 together, those staff 3 players in that forward line, it showed how difficult they found it to really get things going on the offence. And as we said, it looked like New York City FC were getting back to their best in some ways, creating a lot of chances, dominating possession, and what we would have seen from them under Ronny Delia. But Nick Cushing is having a very difficult time as a head coach. And no matter what his side were doing in this first half, unfortunately, it was a mistake which led to the scoring being opened in the wrong end by Thiago Martins.
Kind of unique because you've got these little pockets of fans kind of spread out in different corners and different sections, and it's not, obviously traditional or typical.
Oh, back pass in the direction of Sean Johnson. He was way off his line.
So it was a hard one to take for the Brazilian defender. Sean Johnson running out to give some support the rest of the team around him, and they got themselves going once again. They managed to bounce back from this, which is something that maybe we haven't been able to say too well for this team going throughout this season, especially since Nick Cushing taking over, that if things are going against them, can they turn the game around again? But they continue to fight, and they continue to put pressure on this FC Cincinnati defence.
Over the top, Tyler Smago brings it down, but can't control it right away for a shot, so he has to try and create something here. Pushes out to Tavon Gray. He'll curl a ball in. There's the header in the goal! Gabby Pereira charging forward, and we're level at 1.
Gabriel Pereira was able to bring New York City FC level partway through the second half. A great cross in from Tavon Gray and a headed finish from the young Brazilian at the near post. And it gave New York City FC a lot of belief. You could see the excitement and the release of sort of that stressful energy that must be around this side as that goal went in, to know that what they were doing was really bringing some rewards. And that took them into the half as level at 1-1. New York City FC could have gone on to win this. Hebert coming off the bench and striking the crossbar from range with a left foot shot, bouncing back off Salentano, who was very lucky that it went for a corner rather than back towards his own goal.
Tavon Gray, nicely played by Gray, finding Maxi Morales, now Gabi Pereira. Gray making the run down the right-hand side, into the middle for Eber. He turns, he'll shoot and hit the crossbar.
But Cincinnati went the other way. Sergio Santos coming off the bench, he made a big impact, running through and ensuring this game was one to forget for Thiago Martins, who brought the player down. He was sent off for this foul on the 75th minute, and the referee awarded a penalty. VAR overruled this. The foul was outside of the box, which is the only silver lining for a day to forget for Thiago Martins. All in all, they managed to hold on with the 10 men just for those 15 minutes. They held on. They've got this 1-1 draw, and now they go into their next 3 games knowing that the other teams below them have 2 more games in hand. Orlando City FC and Columbus Crew, who could draw level. Columbus Crew, points-wise, they're 6 points behind. Orlando City could go above them with their 2 games in hand. But the performance was better for New York City FC, and something which Cushing's, especially the first half, he can take some positivity from, knowing that he can really try to get this side going if he's to continue his role come 2023. They go to Charlotte next, having already lost to Charlotte at home. It can be a difficult situation for them. Charlotte are out of the playoff conversation now, but all these players will be fighting for their jobs come next season. There will no doubt be some movement around the rosters throughout the entire MLS. So this isn't a complete walkover. Cincinnati go to San Jose. Again, they are trying to get themselves sorted. They're not in the playoff race. So Cincinnati will know that will welcome the West Coast side. And they need to try and ensure that they can get 3 points rather than another point to really keep up with some of these other sides, with New England into Miami, who'll be really pushing them for those final playoff spots come the end of the season. One of those sides that we mentioned, Columbus Crew, will play. They will travel to Montreal tomorrow for their MLS game. Another one of those teams that New York City have got one eye over their shoulder, keeping an eye on what Columbus are doing, and one eye facing forwards as to what Montreal are doing in front of them to try and make sure they can catch up ground. So we'll have to see what happens with those 2 sides come the end of the game tomorrow. Going into the weekend's action. But thanks very much again for listening, guys. You can follow me at Mike Rice 1983. Please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you tuning in, and look forward to bringing you more MLS updaters soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.